Hi, I'm Ben Iverson. I want to recap some of the uploads and pull them together. Some of these may appear to be religion-based, but they are not. Under New Science, religion and spirituality are two separate subjects. For each person, religion is an entrained part of the belief system, and is different and unique for each person. Spiritual and spirituality is based upon scientific methods as they have been developed over the many years. That is not to say that the scientific method is infallible. It is in fact very fallacious, unsound, and often illogical. In New Science, a new qualification is added to the scientific method. That qualification is mathematical truth, not the mathematics with which we are all familiar, but the natural mathematics of all creation, of which quantum arithmetic is a beginning. It is the sieve which sifts out all but the truth, and leads into sacred geometry of ancient times. This sets up a mathematical analog to every situation which can be imagined. Find the analog and one has found the truth. One cannot say the same for common math. Everything is composed of 4 parts, and those 4 parts begin with the quantum number of a thing, of an action, or of a thought. Quantum arithmetic identifies the 4 parts of the quantum number and then identifies the characteristics of the thing, action or idea, and gives a full description of it and its characteristic parameters. The 4 parts of a human are 1. Soul, 2. Spirit, 3. Mind, and 4. Body, in that order and in descending importance. 1. The soul is the God particle of a person. The soul can be considered as a spark of the creative force, separated from that creative force, but hopeful of returning to that creative force in more full measure than it began. It is imperishable and everlasting, except it can be destroyed, or wasted, by number for the body. 2. The spirit is non-material, but is a cohesive energy field. It is the important part of a person. It is a virtual analog of the body, except the spirit precedes the body and the body is an analog of it. The spirit is in search of oneness with the creative force, and perfection, which it can gain through utilizing several bodies in a progressive way to that goal. That is why it is necessary for a spirit to reincarnate. The spirit is that which is really in charge of number 3 and number 4. It is sometimes called the unconscious. The spirit is all-knowing, but it can be misled by the body or by the mind through faulty input information from them. This faulty information comes from the belief system which the person has accumulated over the present lifetime. Young children do not have this problem. That is why the Bible admonishes, listen to the children. The spirit is traced out in Volume 3, chapters 5 through 9, of Pythagoras and the Quantum World, 1997. 3. The mind is concerned with memory, and with autonomous functions of the body. The mind is compartmentalized into memory, the belief system, that which controls the body, maintaining the harmony of health through the autonomous system, and a system for feeding the spirit. The mind can be seen through Kirlian photography, as an energy field or aura about a body. 3 parts of the brain of a body are programmed to read right to the aura. They are the pineal gland, the pituitary gland, and the hypothalamus. The third eye is the modem to make this information connection. Many people are developing this third eye today, and it can be identified as a rounded spot on one's forehead. Under certain light and certain angles it appears to be 2 to 3 inches in diameter and seems to protrude ever so slightly, and have a slight variation from the color of the surrounding scalp. The spirit communicates with the body through this third eye, and we call it intuition. This third eye is to be found on all experienced dowsers, and on persons who have psychic ability. There is some correlation between the prominence and physical appearance of the third eye and the state of development of that entity. 4. The body has been studied extensively by current science, but only in its physical context. The one thing which the body has, but is lacking in the other 3 parts, is free will. We continually overrule messages from spirit when we use our free will to ignore the intuitive messages it sends. That is what leads to the many mistakes which we make in daily living, invariably causing us to pay for the mistakes. However, we learn mainly from those errors and it enhances our judgment. We will return to the transition which takes place when a spirit enters a body. Each of these four parts is more than they seem through our senses. They are all energy fields, formed originally from positive protons, negative electrons, and neutrons for the body. The other three parts are strictly energy fields made up of male and female energy. They are all bound together by the attractive forces of harmonics, under the natural law of harmonics, as described in Volume 2 of Pythagoras and the Quantum World, 1995. Likewise, they are pulled apart and destroyed by the negative forces of inharmony and discord. So, a person is actually formed of four parts of which the body is simply the housing for the other three. Plato described the body as an overcoat, which the spirit discarded when the body is old and worn, or when it has served the spirit's purposes. Then the spirit finds another body and puts it on as one would put on an overcoat. Reincarnation is a valid concept according to quantum arithmetic, according to sacred geometry, and according to the grand unified field.